plenty of power.
That's just giving us authorization to transfer your plate onto that bike on your behalf. And here's your main key, sir.
Hold it up.
And then.
Woohoo!
So yeah, and that is yours. Okay. Thank you very much. And I can get this on now for you. Okay. And do you?
So is this and this and this and this your add-ons?
I am taking delivery.
They're compressor for me, so it should flash at you. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So now it's off. It's ECC off. So we'll show you. So press and hold it. So if you're gonna go riding off road, recommend turning off road mode on. That way you can start back in around without being all crazy. Bike is not like being off road and traffic control. Off road mode on. So if you're like road, maybe as the traffic is taking everywhere, both directions. Your ABS light, your traction control lights will flash so you get above 5 miles an hour when they go away. Your oil light or your tire pressure recommendation. Back here, back. On this one, let's go over. So they recommend 1.8 bar for the front and 2.3 bar for the rear. Which I'm pretty sure is like 28, 32. We'll change it. But yeah, make sure it's original.
So we're, I don't know, a third of the way home, and real heavy traffic, but first impressions. My opinion is going to be kind of skewed because for the last, I don't know, a couple of years I've been riding a little 8.7 horsepower mini moto, the Honda Trail CT 125, which I love. But yeah, it takes getting used to go from less than 9 horse to 40 horse, and 4-speed semi-auto clutch to 6-speed clutch. You have to pay attention because you don't have your muscle memory yet. But we're taking. I could have come home on the interstate, but I thought, yeah, I want to go and have a longer ride home. Plus, I want to have a lot of stopping and starting to feel the brakes, feel the gears, feel the weight dynamics of the Triumph Scrambler 400X, And but so I've been riding for, I don't know, 20 minutes now, and it's great. It's pretty much what most of the reviewers said, that it's one of the most natural feeling bikes that you're going to get on, and you just take to it easily, and that's been my experience so far. We're kind of leaving some of the congested small town bumper to bumper traffic behind, and you know, getting on a state highway between 55 and 60 just cruises very smoothly. But yeah, initial impression after I've been riding it for less than half an hour, it's great. It's, you know, what I hoped it would be. So we're about 2/3 of the way home, and this thing's great. I mean, what can you say? You know, there's not a whole lot I can say other than what other reviewers have said. You know, it's a very natural bike. Anybody who's ridden a motorcycle before will pretty much know how to ride this one from the time they first hop on it. It just doesn't do anything strange. The shifts are pretty much like you expect them. The brakes are not too hard, not too soft. But we are in dear old Springboro, Ohio, so the town just south of where I live. And this has been great coming home in traffic. You know, it's going to take us about an hour and 15 minutes to what took 35 to go down and pick up the bike at Cincinnati Triumph. But yeah, everything's working great. Very easy bike to adjust to, and I think I'm going to be really happy with it. A lot of fun. I have a lot of good plans for it. I had the upper and lower crash bars installed, and also the luggage rack, because I have my Moscow Moto Reckless 80 coming in a few days, so I had to have the rack on before that got here. I got the knoblin lock for the Reckless 80, so I'll have to get a metal drill and drill a central hole in it to put the knoblin lock assembly on it. That won't take very long. I can't say enough good things about Cincinnati Triumph. They're also known as the Power Sports Store. I think they just started with Triumph for about a year ago, and real nice people to deal with. So I'll take it down here, I'm guessing, in a week or two to do the 600-mile service, and then after that it's once every 10,000 or once a year. And you know, I'll probably have that done, you know, like October or November each year. At the end of the season, and I'll be ready to go for the next season. But an awful lot of fun. I like the instrumentation. I know it's minimal, but that's what I kind of like. It has everything I need and not anything that I don't need. Come on, what are you going to do? So far I don't see anything lacking. For some reason I had the idea that I would have to install the charging port on it, but no, it's got a USB-C port. So I was able to plug my phone in right away. Now I have to wire in the Garmin Zumo XT mount, and I'll do that. And what else? I'm going to put an SAE plug on it to run my, well, any accessory I want. I'll have that coming out the back. So I've got to access the battery and put in the Garmin electric and then the SAE. Okay, so I'm cruising around Caesars Creek Lake State Park. This is the first day. I just picked this Scrambler up a couple hours ago, and so this is a nice place to cruise around. Not exactly off-road, but it's around a very pretty lake at Caesars Creek State Park. So we'll go back to where it's kind of like the trailhead for the biking trail. There's usually some cars back here with bike racks on them. Let's see if there's any today. And then we'll go down and look at the water. Yeah, there's one. I'll bet it has a bike rack on it, because apparently it's a really nice cross-country trail for, you know, for bicycles, for BMX bikes, I guess. Yep, Land Rover with a bike rack on it. And they got a heck of a hill to go down when they get on the trail, and then of course come back up. It's really something. Yeah, there we are. So really pretty down here. Scrambler down at Lakeside. Again, I just picked it up a couple hours ago, and so I thought I'd take it out for a country drive, and so I ended up down at the lake. There we are. So first impressions, great. No weird things at all. I had a little problem at first getting it from second to third gear, but that was my fault, and I learned what I was doing wrong, and now it's not a problem. I put my Nelson rig tail bag on it. I don't think that's going to be a permanent solution, but it works for, you know, picking it up. Delivery day, rather. Got my rain gear in there, some drinks and stuff, but yeah, it's great so far. Had the racks put on it, not racks, but crash bars put on it. Had the upper and lower put on it. Of course, I had to have the luggage rack put on. Tires grip really nice. You know, you could do, they're great street tires, and they even be okay for light off-road. Where they would fall down is if you got into any kind of mud, or any depth of mud. I don't think they would do well. You need knobbies for that, and that'll be one of the first things that I switch on it. But anyway, first impressions, fantastic. It's pretty much as I hoped it would be. I'm like everybody else that buys one of these. I listened to an awful lot of reviews, read a lot, you know, watched a lot of YouTube review videos, and they were not universally positive, but close to universally positive. And man, it'll get up and go. I probably am going to put the 15-tooth front sprocket in it, because yeah, it's geared low. It's geared to carry a much bigger and heavier rider than I am up and down mountains. And I'm about 160 to 165, and it's just geared too low. So I think I'm going to go ahead and switch the 14 to the 15 tooth, and that ought to give me a little bit more top end, or well, it'll smooth it out. I don't need any more top end. It'll go way faster than I ever want to go. But nice to have the power that it has. The seat's comfortable. I debated on getting the touring seat, but this one so far is okay. You know, ask me how I feel after an 8-hour day on it, but so far it seems to be fine. I'm probably going to upgrade, you know, the hand guards, because these are just plastic, and probably the sump guard also, because it's also just plastic, but all things in good time. I did take the tank decals off of it. I could not stand having those things there staring at me. So they got taken off literally within 5 minutes of me getting back home with it before I set out on this ride. But yeah, it's great. No issues whatsoever. Handles really well. Has all the get up and go that I'm ever going to need, even when Nancy's riding with me. So that's that. Okay, so we'll just take a quick jaunt around the neighborhood before we take off. So we'll see how the sound is picking up on the front camera, in addition to how it's picking up on the rear camera, which I think is still going. We'll see what kind of video and audio quality we get. So far it's not been too bad on the front. Yeah, there's the house with the big red door, if you can see that or not, but it's really interesting. Alright, I'll swing back. Oh yeah, this bike has plenty of power, even in, what am I in, third? Yeah, even in third gear, it'll plow right up that hill. So that's nice. So we'll go down here to the gas station and get some gas. State Route 73. There's the marina. I think there's a little restaurant and snack bar there. The beach is just to my right, and I know the ranger station is in here. It's a great facility. It was a real boon for Southwest Ohio when they put this place in right at 50 years ago. So I'm going to cruise back here and I'll show you the marina. Yeah, beautiful parking lot back here. They made it look nice. And this is how you go down to the marina, and there's a snack bar. It might even be a restaurant. I'm not sure. I've never actually been down to it. I need to do that. So there you can see here the marina at Caesars Creek. And there's a children's fishing pond over there. They have a pier. There we go, marina at Caesars Creek. So here, right straight down that bridge, is the marina. I don't know what it costs for a slip for a season, but yeah, there's restrooms down there and a snack bar, and stuff like that. So I've had the bike about a week now, and let's see, where are we at? 322 miles. So I'm still within the break-in period. In fact, that's what I'm doing. I'm out just trying to put miles on it and get the break-in done, because I have the trip of a lifetime planned, and I leave exactly a month from today. So I have to get the 600 miles on it, get the crucial 600-mile break-in service done, and then I want to have, a week or so to ride it, just to make sure everything's as it should be. I have knobby tires coming for it next week. I bought a set of Shinko 804, 805s, so they should be appropriate for where I'm going. So far the bike is great. I had a problem, and I think it's my problem, of shifting into third and fourth gear. And I think the problem was I wasn't dropping my foot enough. I was just kind of resting it against the shifter and then going up, and it would usually work, but every now and then I would miss a shift, which is always a revolting development, because the bike lurches and it winds out and everything, and you feel like an idiot. But last couple rides I've taken, I've tried to remember to drop my foot and then bring it up and shift into third and fourth gear, and of course that fixes the problem. So definitely user error, nothing wrong with the bike. I think I've gotten beyond that now, I hope. Other than that, I'm just delighted. My Moscow Moto Reckless 80 revolver luggage came, and I spent an hour and a half to 2 hours assembling that, fitting it to the bike, learning how all the straps work. I got the optional knob and lock system for it, which was great. So I had to drill a hole through the luggage rack to install that, and that went fine. And boy, it's great. All you do is you just slide it on that knob and knock, screw it down, attach your two forward straps to where the passenger pegs are, and you're done. You literally can put the whole luggage system on the bike in 2 or 3 minutes, and remove it just as quickly. It's really, anybody who who splurges, because it's expensive to get the Moscow Moto Reckless 80 luggage, definitely get the knob and lock and put that on your bike. It changes the game. It just eliminates so much strapping, and it's much less frustrating to mount and unmount the luggage. When I have the 600-mile service done, I'm seriously considering having the 15-tooth front sprocket put in, to gear it up a little bit. This bike is geared low, especially the first 4 gears are really close together. I'm not a big guy, I'm not heavy, I weigh 160, 165, and this thing's geared to carry a much larger and heavier guy than I am up mountainsides. It's really geared low, and I think I could get away with the 15-tooth. I've read a lot of reviews of people who switched the 15-tooth in, and they all seem to like it. So I'm considering doing that. I haven't decided for sure yet, but I very well may. So there's that. I'll put the knobbies on it. I have hand guards ordered for it, so I'll put those on. And then I think the bike will pretty much be done. I may at some point in the future put, the high front fender on it. It just depends on if I feel comfortable enough to, do some real off-roading with it. I know this bike is not an enduro. It's not even a dual sport, so you're not going to do hardcore off-road on it. But moderate BDRs, you could easily do those, especially if you have knobbies. Honestly, I wouldn't switch out the street tires because they're really great, but I'm fearful if you get into much mud, especially if there's any depth to it, they just wouldn't make it. So I'm going to put a set of Shinko 804, 805s on it, and I think I'll be in good shape. I'm sure they'll be a little bit buzzy on the road, but everything's a compromise. But just love the bike. It's pretty much as I'm hoping it would be, and I'm satisfied after 1 week. probably do a, you know, a 6-month or a 1-year review, and then I'll know more. I don't think there's going to be any major disappointments. I know what the bike is. I know what I bought. And, you know, I don't expect it to be anything that, you know, it's not meant to be. So this is a great place to ride around. This is Houston Woods State Park. And I'm just riding around, you know, inside what's called the ring road that goes around the park. Fairly large park, but we have an unusually warm day. I think it's 71, 72 out. And so I thought, well, it's an hour to get here from my house. So I've got a nice 2 hours of 55-mile-an-hour country, you know, state highway riding, and then all these inner roads, you know, inside the park. They're really nice. It's good on the break-in too, because there's no long constant speed. You're slowing up, slowing down, and speeding up. So good for the break-in. And it's just such a pleasant day, you know, now that we've come out of winter. Almost feels summer-like. If there are any leaves on the trees, it would be summer-like. But yeah, you know, if you're interested in the Scrambler 400X, you know, it's a scrambler. Like I mentioned, it's not an enduro or dual sport, and it's not a, you know, it's not a BMW GS. It's a scrambler, which means it's good at both road and off-road, but it's not great at either, and that describes me as a rider. I'm a pretty good road and off-road rider, but I'm not great. And so I think the Scrambler and I match up really well. I am going to do some off-road, but nothing all that wild. And I ride, of course, a lot on-road, but it's not like I'm wanting to ride it across the continent on the interstate system, which it would do, but, you know, a lot more comfortable on other bikes. So I'm going to go down here and check out the beach at Houston Woods Lake. Swing around here for a minute. So this is what I bought this bike for, just to go to places like this, you know, something that's highway capable, beyond, you know, what my little CT 125 is. It's great at what it does, and this one's great at what it does. You know, I can get on any road, including an interstate, and get to where I want to go, which is mostly places like this, and cruise through beautiful forests and visit parks, things like that. And this is going to really fill the bill perfectly. Triumph, you're doing really well. I like you. You're geared kind of short, but I might fix that. We'll see. So this is typical Southwest Ohio right here, and so this is just perfect to break this bike in. You know, these 35, 45, 50-mile-an-hour rural roads that go forever here in Southwest Ohio, and that are so fun and enjoyable and relaxing to ride when you have a very early spring day that's this warm. Again, it's in the low 70s. It feels a lot warmer than that, actually, because, you know, we're not used to it being that warm since last year. But yeah, the bike was just made to do this kind of stuff. I've been really impressed, like right here, with the cornering ability of this bike. You know, this is the Scrambler. This is not the Speed 400. Speed 400 might even be a little bit better, but you can kind of flip this thing around and lay it over easily. It doesn't feel that heavy. It's just shy of 400 pounds, and I just don't feel it when I'm riding it. I even had my full, you know, camping pack in the luggage yesterday trying it out, and I did maybe 50 miles, and so that was an extra, you know, 55 pounds on it. Honestly, I forgot it was on there sometimes. You know, I'm having a big 50-mile test ride to see how the luggage, you know, affects the weight dynamics of the Scrambler X, and I couldn't feel it sometimes. And I would, you know, flick the bike around like this to see if it would you know, destabilize it any, and it just didn't. So I'm really happy with how the bike feels. It fits me, you know, for my size. Again, I'm 5'8", you know, 160, 165. So not real big, and it just, you know, I can handle this bike no problem. I know some people have remarked that the seat is tall, but really it isn't. For me, and I've got a 30-inch inseam. Almost missed that turn there. So even out on a you know, higher speed road like this, I think it's a 60-mile-an-hour road into the little town of Camden, handles great. You know, this is a typical late March day. It is very windy. I've been fighting mostly a lateral wind all day, where sometimes I've had to literally lean into it on a straightaway to maintain control. It was really windy, and the gusts were really something. And yeah, we're coming into the little farming community of Camden, just off to the right here. It's a beautiful little town, and this puts us on to State Highway 725 when we go back. There's the Camden Public School from the 20th century. Some classic architecture from the 1800s. It's now a lawyer's office, or sorry, this is the village office, is right there. See it? City Hall. I thought it was a lawyer's office. There's the post office. Just quintessential Americana. There's the whiskey bar. Yeah. Used to be an ice cream store down here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. It's still there. The Depot Dairy Bar. I don't know if it would be open this time of year or not. Now hiring. Yeah, I guess they might be open. Depot Dairy Bar and Restaurant. Oh, good. Goodness. I get behind a guy with a trailer that's carrying a big, is it a 4x4 or a 6x6? Something like that. Yeah, look at the size of that thing. Yeah, that's a 6x6. So we're in a little bit of hill country here, and we're in a little bit of twisty country. And then we're in a lot of straightaway country. You can see the road going up and down in front of me. It's a lot of fun to ride. You have to be careful though, because there are very sudden sharp turns. Now they're well signed, you know, they're well labeled. You know in advance if you're paying any kind of attention at all. But like, you know, right here, lay into this, and then back to the left. A lot of fun if you have your wits about you. Really get going in here. Yep, Scrambler X, you're great. You just eat this stuff up. And yeah, most of this is just 55-mile-an-hour state highways. This is State Highway 725, and it will take me most of the way home. We're getting close to what passes for rush hour, which is not really much of a rush hour out here in rural southwest Ohio. But you do get more traffic this time of day. You can come through here at, you know, 10 o'clock on a weekday, and you might not see a car for, you know, several miles. It's great. They've already plowed some of the fields up. You can see the one on the right is already plowed up. The one on the left has not been. So what they generally do is they'll rotate corn with soybeans. You know, plant soybeans one year and then corn the next, and vice versa. And yeah, I see they've already plowed under last year's stubble, and they're preparing to plant again this spring. I don't know if you can see it, but you've got nice undulations in the road right here. So we're just cruising along at 63, 64. Really nice. Some of the farmhouses along here are large and really well taken care of. You know, they're built like years ago, and they're still in nice shape. Other ones are kind of in disrepair, but an awful lot of them have been what you would call restored, I guess. Many of them have been in the same family for a long time. This one here on the left. And many of these are still very much working farms. We are coming into Gratis. I wonder if that means everything is free in that town. There's a nice barn. This one's been redone. You can tell the foundation is original, but they've completely redone that in siding. Beautiful. New house going in on the lot to the left. So here we are on an unusually warm, let's see, what is this? Saturday, near the end of March. It's March 29th, I think. And we're closing in on 400 miles, so 2/3 of the way through the break-in period. And I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying riding this little motorcycle. A lot of fun. We have some rain coming up next week, so I figured I would get my riding in today in case I couldn't later on. I got the motorcycle, or the Scrambler X, dirty yesterday for the first time. I actually had to skirt around a detour, and it's been raining here, so it was mud. Had to go down the ditch and a few inches of water, and peeled out all over the place and threw mud all over the underside and the sides of Scrambler X. So it got its first bath this morning. You know how it is. You get a new motorcycle, of course it's all clean and shiny and everything, and then the first time you get it really dirty, it's kind of a downer. So anyway, it got a nice bath and wiped down this morning. It looks good again. When I go on my secret trip of a lifetime here in a month, I'm sure it'll come back looking like it's been there. So I'm heading down to one of our state parks again, because, you know, they're by definition located in rural areas. Well, most of them are. And so it's nice to ride there. You know, you just get these 2-lane country roads, cruise along at 45, 55 miles an hour, and it's just relaxing and fun. And where we're at, as you can see right here, there's a lot of long straightaways, but the road goes up and down, and sometimes you can get some nice twisties, but a lot of straightaways. But these are the kind of roads that, especially a smaller motorcycle like the Scrambler X, it just feels like it glides over them. Speaking of that, I haven't even touched the shocks yet. It's just still at factory settings. I've been wanting to get out. You know, they give you a really nice portfolio with all your manuals and paperwork and everything, but in there is the wrench to adjust the preload on the rear shock. I don't think the front shocks are adjustable, but you can adjust the preload on the rear shock, and I have to play with that across the next month before I go anywhere. And we're gonna get out onto State Highway, what is this? State Highway 42. And twist the throttle a bit. Okay, Scrambler, let's go. Yes, indeed. And of course, I'm rev limited to, it looks about like 6,500 RPM, excuse me, which gets me up to, the GPS says about 70, 71 miles an hour, and then the tachometer starts bouncing up and down, which is that warning you get until they do the 600-mile break-in service, and then, you know, you can rev it as much as you want, I suppose. But I'm being a good boy, and I'm doing exactly what they tell you to do. I'm varying the speed, staying within the rev limit, and break it in well, because, you know, the thinking is that we'll make the engine last that much longer throughout the life of the motorcycle. Yeah, we're gonna, let's see, 390 miles, so another 10 miles and we'll be 2/3 of the way broken in. Oh, Scrambler X is a ball to ride. So controllable, so quick in acceleration. Cruises smooth. We are in the little city of Lebanon. I think it's a city, might just be a town, but I think it's a city. And it's famous for, well, several things, but probably the most famous thing is the Golden Lamb restaurant. It's been in business since 18-something. Many presidents of the United States and other political notables have eaten there and stayed there. It's an actual inn. It's a hotel and restaurant. And I think it's been in continuous business since early 1800s. I'll look it up. But Lebanon is just, you know, one of the best examples of a little Midwestern town. Here we're kind of on the, well, we are on the main drag. The Golden Lamb is down here on the right. They have a beautiful courthouse. I think Lebanon is the county seat of Warren County in Ohio. But you can kind of look around and get the idea. This is a Saturday afternoon in late March, and they have business downtown. I'll see if I can pull up to the Golden Lamb when I get down here. I don't know what the parking situation is going to be. But when you go in there, you would swear it's, you know, 1855 all over again. It's really neat. Food's good. Not ridiculously expensive. But, yeah, here it is on my right. Yeah, Golden Lamb Restaurant and Hotel. Pull around to the side here. Yeah, Black Horse Tavern. Well, boy, they're doing a business today, so I don't think I'm going to be able to stop. So here we'll go back up. There's the Golden Lamb. No real good way to get a picture of it at the moment. Just a beautiful little town. I mean, one of the more vibrant small towns or small cities. So I took a ride, less than an hour, down to Cowan Lake State Park. And let's see, what is this? April 2nd. So still very early spring. And the lake is still all brown and tan and not very green yet. But, you know, the break-in continues. I'm closing in on, I think I have 480 some miles, so almost 4/5 of the way to the 600-mile break-in. Or, yeah, about 4/5. And bike's doing great so far. Really enjoying it. It just continues to do great. Really, really happy with the choice that I made. And we'll tool around Cowan Lake for a while. Let's see where we're at here. Oh yeah. Okay. See the, I guess these are the rental pontoon boats that the state has, and they're all shielded for the winter. Boy, they do a nice job, eh? They have a lot of them, goodness. Welcome to Taylor's South Shore Marina. I guess they sell boats here in addition to renting them. So I'm just going to kind of make my way around the lake and pull back into places if I. So let's see. There's a long shot of part of the lake. I don't know if I can get that or not, but we'll go around to the other side, and then there's another way you can get back down to the lake, so we'll do that. Road ends in water, yeah. Okay, so we'll go down here and take a look. Oh, okay, this is nice. Got a little parking lot down here. Yeah. Okay. Wonder if there's a boat launch down here. I don't know. Hard to tell. Okay, so yeah, this is a nice view of the lake. Yeah, it's a windy day. It's whitecapping out there. Huh. There's a beach over there, it looks like. Let me see if I can get the kickstand down without this thing falling over. See if we've got it. Yeah, this will be fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's really rocking and rolling out there. Cowan Lake is bigger than I remember it being. Huh. Nice. Alright. Look at that Scrambler. Getting its break-in miles on. So we are rolling down Ohio 730. Trailer sales, alright. More lake access this way. I guess this is where the campground is, so we'll go take a look at that. So here we are, Cowan Lake State Park. Alright. Is it okay if I drive around and look at the campground? Thank you. Well, that was nice. I'm trying to remember if I've ever been back here before. I don't know. If I have, I don't remember. Yeah, this looks like typical Ohio State Park campground roads, cabins, nature center, playground. Let's look at that. Why not, huh? Rental cabins, nice. Environmental education center, etc., etc. Nature center. So these are the cabins down here. Area club. Oh, they're rehabbing the cabins. Looks like maybe, huh? Or maybe these are new cabins. Check in. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, they're rehabbing the cabins. Those are new cabins. I don't know. Anyway, I'll check these out over here. Looks like this might overlook the lake. Take a look. These cabins are either, no, they're not new, but they're in nice shape. So, great. I don't know, maybe they have a dozen? I don't know. Yeah. Go down here and look. Okay, so we'll swing in through the campground. I don't expect anybody to be here, not very many people. See, campsites 1 through 60, okay? And put her down in low blower. They have electric. Nice. I'm guessing if you came here, you know, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, this would be full. That's my guess. So maybe I'll have to take a ride down here if I'm home on those days. Heck, I'll probably be up at the lake, but if I am, it'd be fun to ride down here. Because like I say, it's, you know, less than an hour to get down here from home. So, you know, 2 hours round trip to be generous, and then whatever time you spend down here. So, all right, the Scrambler X, you know, it cruises around on these little look-see expeditions. Really nice. Again, it's geared low, so, you know, have it in second gear. Actually, you cruise in third gear. But I think I'm going to have the, I think I'm going to put the 15-tooth sprocket in it. Get those revs down a little bit. Let's see, what do we got here? Campsites. 210. Certainly they don't have 210 campsites. Oh, this is a new camping area here. Interesting. Yeah, that's big. Camping in early April. You have the place nearly to yourself. Yeah, I think I like the wooded area better. You're way out in the open here, which would not be fun on a hot July, August, September day. There's the campground commissary. That's the camp store, as we would call it. There's where you take your trash. Okay, so this ought to get us down in another view of the lake. Yeah, I see it. So this goes out onto a little mini peninsula, it looks like. Road ends in water. Okay, so these are their primitive sites, non-electric sites. Yeah. So we'll go down and take a look here. Road ends in water. That's what I like to see. There it is. Yeah. I see an orange barrier. So, no, it's all right. Swing around. No parking at any time. Yeah, I get it. So there's a beach. Okay, so that's the beach I saw when I was on the other side. Yeah. Okay. Walk out here and take a look. How you doing, Scrambler? Another 100 miles and you'll be broken in. Onion bag. That gets placed by the onion bag litter prevention. Please take a bag and use it in your boat for your litter. Oh, okay. Trying to prevent them from littering in the lake. Yeah, okay, so this is the boat launch. Of course, they don't have the docks in yet, but yeah. Huh. Okay. She's rocking and rolling a little bit. We have an awful lot of rain coming, starting late tonight. In fact, they have flash flood watches out, so I'm guessing the level of the lake is going to be up in a few days, probably by tomorrow. All right. Hey, road ends in water. Again, another one of my favorite signs. Okay. Slow her down. 494, coming in on 500 miles. Only a little over 100 miles to go. So not too bad. Yeah, there we go. Oh, they have a little island out there. I had no idea. Nice. Wonder how you get to the other side of that lake. Let's see, what am I looking at? Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Beach. Okay. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it or not because I can't see where I'm pointing the camera, but anyway, 499 miles. We'll see if we can catch it when it rolls over its first 500 miles, and then 100 miles to go and we'll do the break-in. Okay, there it goes, 500 miles. Look at that. Nice. So 500 miles in, I think I've had the bike 2 weeks today. This is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So yeah, I got it 2 weeks ago today and put 500 miles on it, which is not bad considering, it's very early spring and, the weather is really crappy some days and weather that you can ride in the next, you never know. So you just have to pick your days and put the miles on it. So far great. I've been varying the speed, I've been staying within the rev limits, so should be broken in well. So here we are, it's a couple weeks later, and let's see, the bike has 512 miles on it, and came back to take a look at the lake again, and everything's great. Less than 100 miles to go and I'll have it broken in, and I've been a good boy. I've kept the revs within the limit and I've varied the speed, and that's basically all you have to do during the break-in, and I've had a great time on it. I have the Moscow Moto Reckless 80 luggage all assembled and fit together, and I've started to see how my moto camping pack will go in it, but I think everything will fit, and fits on the bike really well. It's incredible the balance it has. I mean, it's relatively low and tight compared to pannier on racks, and when I ride with it I kind of forget it's there sometimes. So that's worked out well. Anyway, so far so good. I like the bike a lot. I don't, there's no second guessing on the choices yet. I don't have buyer's remorse or anything like that. So this is the school where I worked for 30 plus years. This building was completely redone. It was built in '66, but it was completely redone and expanded in '95 and '96, and then they did another major expansion on it in 2005, 2006. I worked there at that time during both of those renovations, and it was honestly minimally disruptive because they did a lot of the work during the summer. But great place to work. I felt fortunate to be here, and I've been gone, let's see, 6 years now. My classroom's just inside that door a little ways.